Hi, my name is Gerhard Gschwandtner. Welcome to Selling Power TV. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with Anthony Iannarino, and we'll focus on how to get stuff done faster, better with technology. Welcome, Anthony.
Thank you, G-Man. How are you?
I'm doing terrific. So what is your number one tool that you use to crank out your productive capacities from your brain to the computer to your followers?
I'm going to say that the number one tool, and I use a lot of tools, is OmniFocus by the Omni Group. And what OmniFocus is a task manager. So every single thing that I ever have to do goes into OmniFocus. And it allows me to take things from an email and just drop it into OmniFocus, or an idea. It's on my phone, it's on my iPad, it's on my laptop. It's always in sync. And I always know all of the things that I have to do wherever I am. So that's the number one tool. And that's the collect stage of knowing what has to get done and what's most important.
How often do you update the OmniFocus?
The process that I use is that I capture everything. So right now, if you were to say, Anthony, can you send me this article? I would put it in OmniFocus so I don't forget that I owe Gerhard an article. That's what I would do. So it's always around and it's always in the background. But twice a week, I do a review where I look at every single task under every single project. I do that on Saturday mornings and I do it on Wednesday mornings.
And what's the purpose of that, the review?
To make sure that you know what you're not doing. That's the most important thing. It's important that you do what's most important, but you have to also look and say, what am I not doing, so that I don't procrastinate or stall the most important projects. And if you want, I can show you a screen share here if you want one.
Please do.
This is OmniFocus, and it's just one view of my OmniFocus. It's not all of the projects or all of the areas and roles and responsibilities I have, but I need some new pictures for the redesign of the website. There's no due date on that. It's just there. I write and publish daily to the blog that's here, the YouTube. I've got some ideas that I captured here. So every single thing goes into OmniFocus so that I have a view of it, and then I can decide when am I going to do things. And it reminds me all the time on what I need to do.
So let's talk about one of the items was to post a blog. What do you do to compress your time availability to get the blog out? Do you use a dictation tool or something?
I use a tool called Ulysses. And this is the post that I wrote today. And I'm going to just give you a view of Ulysses real quick. And you can see I've written lots of things here, and I've got lots of projects. But this is what I write in. I write strictly in a text editor. And this was the newsletter that I sent today. And basically it tells me how I'm doing. This is 575 words. I shoot for 600. It takes about 3 minutes and 11 seconds to read this post. But I do everything in a text editor because I never want to have a problem getting my content back if Microsoft Word changes something, or if somebody needs it in another format, or it's going to be posted on the web. And I literally keep everything that I've ever written in this massive software package that allows me to be able to pull anything up just by simply typing in some of the keywords.
Because a lot of people have challenges when they create a lot and cannot find their own stuff in their files.
And what you're looking at here is Airtable. And you can see I've got major writing projects. And you can see these are the blog posts that I've written. And then this is the newsletter that I wrote. So this is plus or minus a couple thousand words in the last 2 days.
Right.
And for me, you can see I've dropped in the attachment, the text file here.
Uh-huh.
And I've noted where it's been published so that I always have a record of this. That's airtable.com. It's a database program that's sort of a spreadsheet, but it's also a relational database.
How many apps do you use currently on average during the day?
I'm going to say 5 or 6. That would be my guess. I'm going to use OmniFocus. I'm going to use Airtable for sure. I'm going to use Ulysses for writing. I'm going to use Superhuman for email. I'm going to use Fantastical for my calendar. And then I'm going to use a web browser for something for sure.
So do you have a routine where you look at emails at certain hours of the day?
Gee, I look at it this way. If I'm willing to die with some emails unanswered, then I have to be willing to live with some emails unanswered too. And I can just live with the pressure of knowing there's 110 or 400 of them that came in. I give it a quick scan to find anything that I really owe somebody today or tomorrow, or it's urgent, so I can take care of those things. But for the most part, I reply to every email in the inbox on Wednesday mornings and Saturdays. So a lot of email goes out on Wednesday and Saturday. But if it's not critical and it doesn't need my immediate attention, then it doesn't get my immediate attention. And this is how you produce better results.
So how do you balance the demands of the family? And you've been married for 22 years. How do you balance that with your work?
I don't think that it's a balance. It's a priority for me. So I always put it on the calendar. I always make sure there's time. Tonight, my son has been rehearsing 24 to 32 hours a week for 2 plays. And this is the first night he has free. So we're going to a movie at 7:45. Not my preference. I'd rather go early in the day, but he can't. So I'm making time. And most of the time on weekends, I will already have Friday night dinner with my wife planned. We'll probably eat out lunch and dinner on Saturday to hang out, try to see a movie. I'm just very, very intentional about making time for them because they're the reason that we do all this. Same as with you. They're the reason that I work, is so that I can give them the life that they deserve, in my opinion. So that's what I do.
So let's close this out with a call to action for our audience. What do you think our audience should take away from this conversation?
And there's a lot to be said for deciding what is the most meaningful work you have to do. And the way that you want to think about this is that you need a process and you need tools that serve that outcome. And right now, too many people believe that the tools are a substitute for making these kinds of decisions, and they allow the tool to be a distraction. What you want to do is use the tools to narrow your focus so that you can generate the best results in the areas that matter the most to you in your life.
Awesome. Thank you, Anthony. For anybody who wants to get more information, go to the salesblog.com. That's his blog that has over 80,000 subscribers and
3,300 posts there now.
Amazing.